But as I was saying, sorry, I had to get one of the kids I was babysitting. She was waking up from her nap. But another point. Um, you can use, as I said, thumbtack, but after a while it gets a little harder to hold. It's not as easy making thicker holes, and it's much thinner. Like the point is, so it's not easy going through a lot of papers at one time. But I would highly recommend it if you're first starting out. Just use a thumbtack, or you can use a needle, anything you want to. I like having either a pokey tool or all. It's up to you when it comes to this, because it just makes it easier because how thick this needle is, how sharp it is, and how more of a grip for me to add the right pressure to post the paper. Alright, so you need is a bone folder. Now this is not necessary. This is actually a leather bone folder that I purchased off of eBay. It's made of wood. There's tons out there. They're kind of pricey, and they range like a little bit more than $5. This was 99¢. It's up to you. I love this thing. I do use it. It does make a nice crisp fold. So let me show you. Okay, let me just get some piece of paper out. So I'm gonna fold this on my own. So that's my fold, and I'm gonna go and just cut this paper off real quick. And I'm gonna fold it again. I don't know if you guys can really see the difference between my fold and that fold, but it's way flatter than I can get mine. I would have to use my nail and really crease it really hard, but it just does a flatter fold. I don't know if you can see the difference on that. The bone folder in my fold, it's just much flatter in person. I don't think you can really see that, but I did wish I did. I only use this edge. Occasionally I've done this, but I only use this edge because it's easier to do that than this part. But this is a leather bone folder. I didn't know the difference. It still creases paper really nice, so it's up to you. That's what I use. Next besides that is a pen or pencil, nice pair of scissors, and a plan when you're folding. And then some basic things you would know, like what a signature is. A signature is just a bunch of folded pieces of paper that are like how you put it, like laid inside each other or put inside each other. So like so if I had these two pieces of paper, right, and I wanted to fold them, I wanted to make a signature. Let's cut in half. So I have these 4 pieces of paper, right, and I wanted to make a signature. I would put them inside of each other like this, and that would be a signature. A bunch of pieces of folded paper that are nested inside of each other, and it has to be more than like one. It has to be at least 2 pieces of paper for me to count as a signature, because that's not a signature. That's just 1 piece of paper. I wouldn't classify as a signature. You need like at least 2. Well, that's me. But that's what signature is. Anything else? Pierce, folding. There's different kinds of signature, binding techniques. That's the best way to tell you. There's a pamphlet stitch. There's a magazine kind of like way of binding, where all you do is, and so if you don't have any way of stitching or bind or anything like that, all you use is glue. So what I would do is, if I said I wanted to bind these 2 pieces of paper, I think it's called magazine. It's basically a glue method of binding your book. And basically what you would do is you get your 2 pieces of paper, all the pieces of paper are folded up together, right? Boom, boom, boom. I'll make sure you guys can see this. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Let me outline the end of these with a marker or something. I'm pretty sure I'll put it through. Yeah, okay. And just so that you guys can see these a little better. I want to be as helpful as I can, guys. Okay. So, I wanted to buy a piece of paper, but I don't have any thread and I don't have a needle. So what you would do is you get all pieces of paper. You would I use a binder clips, and I would clip them together, and I would get my glue, and I would just put glue right here. And I would do that several times. I do about 3 to 4 times until I have a nice layer of glue. Making sure each layer of glue dries. The first layer will be thicker than the other one because you want to make sure it seeps between them and binds. That's what I do. I've done that method on one of my books before. I don't know where it is. I use those books for taking notes at my church. I made my own little notebook to use. The other method that I used in this book, which has become like my favorite method to go to, is you get your signatures, right? Put your signatures together. Okay. And I would stitch the signature. So I would just bind paper together. So I'll go through here and stitch it, boom, right? And then when each signature has been stitched to itself, each signature has been bound, all the pages are bound together, I would go through, fold them all, line them all up, pin them with binder clips or whatever. If you have a book press, that works too. I don't have that one yet. I'm going to get one though. And then I'll go on the side, on the folded part, and I'll put glue right here. And do about 3 to 4 layers of that. I use tacky glue for this method. And then to glue this to your book, you can either just use the first and last page of the first and last page of your signature stack, or you can do another method, which would be you glue a piece of thicker paper to the front and the back of your little stack of paper, and then you glue that to your book. So it looks like this. So this is the thicker piece of paper I used, and it's glued, a very thin strand of glue that's glued to the big stack of paper. And then I glue another piece of paper that's about smaller, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's a piece of paper from this wide that I glued on the back to keep everything together and add more thickness right here, so it's not so thin and fragile, because you're going to be opening this book up a lot. It's going to have a lot of bead and wear, so you want to add as much stability to it as possible. And then I glue that to the book. And that's why a lot of times if you open books, the first page is like this, it's bound like that. So that's what I did. I hope that wasn't so confusing. I will leave some links to some people that I watch to learn how to bookbind. There's tons of different ways of bookbinding. That's been the pamphlet stitch, and 4 to 5 holes, and I just stitched that way. It's been my favorite way of binding my books. And I love this method a lot because it makes my book a little tighter, because I've always had problems of having loose pages. But it's up to you. I hope this video wasn't too confusing or just like, what are you talking about, Simone? I don't know. I hope it was helpful in some way and you learned a little bit why I make my own books, why maybe you should make your own books. If you're in a place maybe you can't find art journals easily and you want to make your own, you have some paper at home, have a piece of cardboard. If you're interested in seeing how I make this cover or any of my covers, if you want me walk you through a step of how I make this book or any of my books, leave a comment below. I hope I wasn't rambling too much or mumbling or anything or talking too fast. You guys know how I can get sometimes. Much love, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Keep crafty.